My only complaint is that when I go past 2 o'clock, there are never any more patties at the Jamaican spot. And I just feel like there needs to be a surplus because, why can't I get a patty after 2? Can you explain this to me?
Jamaicans by his story have been very, they move at their own pace. You know what I mean?
They do.
So you can't tell them. They'll tell you, maybe you need to get up earlier and get the patty before 2 o'clock. You come in.
You guess what you gotta do? Because you're not gonna forfeit the food, so you gotta just get up early. You're not wrong. I gotta be on daytime.
Yeah, you gotta adjust the cycle.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning into another episode of Love Really. It's Keydra, the entertainment editor here at the Tylt, and my co-host, Savage. Say hi. All right, well, he's not saying hi today. Anyway, so yes, we're here with a special edition of Love Really. We love to keep it fun, light, and cute over here and talk about reality shows that involve love. But we can't ignore everything that's going on in our country right now. Y'all know America is a hot mess. America has been a hot mess. So we actually felt like we had to address it in our show. So what we did, we spoke to some guys from Minority Report. Minority Report is a show on YouTube hosted by 3 guys from Big Brother Canada, Merron, Hamza, and Andrew. And we spoke to them about their experience as being men of color and Black men in the house. And unfortunately, it was really sad, you guys. I mean, it's no secret. Big Brother has a problem with racism. They've had a problem with racism for years. If you know anything about this show, all you have to do is put Big Brother and put the R, and racism will come up. It's overwhelming at this point, and they're just known for not really embracing Black people, embracing people of color. So we touched on all that. Minority Report is a great show that if you're a person of color or a Black person in the reality TV space, a great place for you to go. And they really let me know what it was like to be a person of color and to be Black in the Big Brother house, and they didn't hold back. So we're gonna get into it. Thanks, guys. So I'm writing a story. I'm writing a digital feature on people of color in the reality TV space. I'm sure y'all already know by now, Ika was talking about her experience, like with ET Canada leaving that. A whole bunch of folks from Bravo got fired that were on Vanderpump Rules for saying racist things. And I just felt like it would be perfect to talk to you guys because as 3 minority men, y'all already jumped the gun and came together, created this platform to talk about your experience. So first of all, I'm gonna ask you guys, what have y'all been doing during quarantine? Because I felt like this show came about during quarantine.
Yeah, no, I agreed. The show kind of stemmed from, I guess, seeing how Jamar was getting treated online with Big Brother Canada. And, us having been on the show and having kind of, seen how certain narratives play out, I felt like we needed to kind of, join forces and kind of, amplifying the voices of minorities on reality television. So to see kind of Jamar go through it and to, have other people kind of bashing him, not understanding, his vocabulary, not understanding his slang, not understanding his energy, so I think that was a part of the reason why we started it.
There are other podcasts that revolve around reality TV or YouTube shows or whatever they may be, but they don't really tackle the issues that people of color and minorities face when participating in these game shows and these reality shows that interacting with other people.
We created this platform to talk about stuff that people like to omit. Honestly, to give minorities a show where they can come on and just speak to other minorities and then just feel like, I know what you've been through. We can relate to each other, and it just to give them like this little sense of comfort.
Not everyone's voice was being heard, and actually, some people's voices were being silenced specifically. So we went out looking for those people that voices were being silenced and that voices were being heard, and then we said, let's give them the opportunity to share their thoughts and to share their ideas, and this is what we got.
What's it like out there in Canada? Because I feel like here in the States, we have this idea that racism is a thing that only happens here in like Canada and like in Europe, like Black people are safe there. What's that experience like being 3 men of color in Canada?
Like America rubs off Canada a lot. you know, and I lived in both countries. And let me tell you, it's just as bad here as it is there. Honestly, it's just as bad. It's just people might not, I don't know, say it directly to your face or whatever. They're more down low about it because, you know, like, I mean, we have gun control here and stuff like that. So people can't just like tell you like straight to your face. They got to be like sly about it or something. But
yeah.
that's the only difference.
I would like to add that police brutality is very evident within the indigenous community here.
It's the same. It's the same all around. It's bad. I'm not trying to get out. Let's not tiptoe around it, guys. Like, you know, racial profiling happens to minorities here every day, and it's continued to happen here. Even this past weekend in Brampton, there was a young, older gentleman in his own home. The police kicked open the door and shot him. 62-year-old gentleman dealing with some mental health issues. Yeah. So it's bad. It's bad here as well. You know, I've been a victim of many microaggressions, racial profiling. In Toronto, we have had a thing called carding, where the police would just stop black men or people that they didn't know to get their information to check up what they were doing, and then they would put them into groups and kind of group them based on certain threats at certain levels. So this is all stuff that is actually happening in Canada right now, or has happened in the past. So
yeah, I got stopped for driving around the neighborhood one time, just because like I drove around the neighborhood once or twice, and I just got stopped because they thought I was going to do something bad.
Right. So when I watched the episode with Ika, you guys were talking about a black code. What is that?
Black code. Can I speak for all black people when I tell them what black code is?
In reference to Big Brother.
In reference to Big Brother,
TV,
the black code is as follows. You know that at the end of the day, that person is a person that you can relate to. That's a number in your favor. You will not target that person. You will not speak ill of that person. You will try to remove that person from danger if there is an opportunity to do so. It is simply as if you're building Wakanda within the Big Brother house.
Yes.
Black code is just that one thing that kind of, there's a lot of disadvantages in the game with Big Brother. But if you have the black code, at least you have someone to talk to and someone that understands. Merron and I think we only had a week together in the Big Brother house. Because by the time Merron got in the game, I was already in trouble. Hamza was cool, but Hamza was with people that I didn't really with. He was hanging with Erica.
That's complete.
It's true. Hamza was hanging with Erica, and I already shifted. And I had Brian, who had already known that he up, and all I had was Merron. And Merron, in those moments, I gave you some whipped cream on the way out.
Oh, I still have your bro. Come on, man. I still have your hoodie, bro.
Listen, man. Listen. They can say a lot of. They can say a lot of things about Andrew Miller, but they can't say he wasn't a real brother on reality TV when he had his opportunity.
I'm a bit hurt with that.
Hamza and I had spent many times together. We slept in the same bed.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Hamza took up way too much space, but I was like, you know what? It's cool, little guy. I'll move over, give you even more space. You know what I mean? But the house is very crazy. Hamza knew that I was a sinking ship, and I loved Hamza. Hamza knew I was a sinking ship, and he's like, you know what? I'm not going close to this guy. I like him, but I'm not going close to this guy.
That is not true at all. That's bullshit. That's not true at all. And I'm actually heartbroken by that because again, I don't want to say the black code, and there's a minority code as well. As soon as somebody walks into the house, it's the same thing. As soon as Andrew walked into the house, because Merron was still not there, I looked at him, he looked at me, we were like, we got each other. Since day one, we slept in the same bed. We hung out together every day, and it was just me and him. And what he's not telling you is when he left, I was on the block next to him, so I couldn't do shit. So it was either me or him, and I did not campaign against him. But if you look at the stuff, he campaigned against me.
That black code is just being safe, knowing that there's a person that looks like you, that is not going to put you on the block, that is not going to talk bad about you, that is going to try to remove you from any threats that might happen along the way. And I will say this, when in that time does come for you to go your separate ways, that's always challenging. But you can always say that, hey, when that time comes, you knew I had you until I couldn't hold you anymore.
Yeah.
And you see how good that sounds? You see how good that sounds?
I love that.
You see how good that sounds? However, there's a lot of people like us that don't stick to that shit. And that's why you see, that's why, and we always blame other people, whatever, but I'm going to blame ourselves first. That's why not a lot of us win the game.
Yeah.
Because when we already go in there, we're already way outnumbered. You know, and there's always the one or two people that start deviating because they're like, you know, I just want to be like that, whatever. And that's when I lose respect.
That makes sense. I know in the same episode with Iko, you guys talked about if there's more than one Black person or person of color congregating together, it seems gangish. You know what I'm referencing? Is that really a thing if there's more than one person of color in a space at one time?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, they look at it as a gang.
We're just talking about this.
No, I was just saying we talked about this on our last episode with Josh on Minority Report, but I also thought about it actually, guys. Merron and I were petrified about being caught in together. I know I was. Right. And even to the point where I told Merron, like, yo, dog, you don't have to worry about me. We're good. And he knew that. But he's like, dog, I don't even care. I just want to hang out with the Mando. Why can't we just do that? I'm like, yeah, I guess we can. But like, even in the game, you know, you're subjected to these microaggressions. You're subjected to this scrutiny that you don't even think about. But we also like pander to the white people in the game as well too, and it's up.
We all do that.
That's the game. That's the game of life that we're subjected to every day when we go into the real world and have to go into these workspaces, go into these public spaces where we are not in the majority, and we have to kind of cling to these kind of we just have to cling to these narratives that are unfair to us and kind of restrict us to be our authentic self. And I'm glad that we have this broadcast where we can be as authentic as we want without any kind of, fallout or, persecution other than people talking on YouTube.
Or being fake. And Andrew caught onto that in the Big Brother house. He'd be like, yo, Hams, let's just go sit and talk to these people about whatever. Like, and they just like smile and like pretend like we're joining the conversation so that we're not ousted or whatever. And it really is sad because like, you couldn't just chill or people were always like, oh, these two guys are plotting or say like it was just it's just as sad as it is in reality television as it is in real life, really.
I was about to say you have to take those same ideas that we use as Black people, as people of color in real life, and bring them to reality TV, which is crazy. It translates.
Yeah, when you have this plague on you in the Big Brother house, it follows you everywhere. You go in a room, everybody leaves. You know, that's just how it is. And like Drew gave me the courtesy of being like, don't worry about me. Like, just go help your game. But even when I would try and go to talk, it just wasn't clicking there. So I would just always revert back to hanging out with them because I enjoyed hanging around with them, talking with them, discussing different things. So that's that's one of the problems that we had to deal with in the house. It was very.
I honestly couldn't even imagine, bro, like me going on there and like not having them too or whatever. And even though, so first week it was just me and Drew, and then second week, Merron came in and it was just the three of us, and then. Like, we always had somebody, and then Merron lasted the longest, so he was in there by himself for a week, so I don't even know how. I don't know how he did that.
It was, bro, I was happy to go home. I was like,
That's crazy. That's crazy, though.
It was got to the point where I was so frustrated. I was like, I don't give a f*** anymore. I'm going to stay in the backyard and play pool all day. But the problem in that house is, you have to force these conversations in order for yourself to advance. If you don't have the relationship, you won't go far. But if they're not willing to have these relationships with you, then what are you left with? Right.
You got into some trouble for saying the N-word, which was quite puzzling. It didn't seem like there were any consequences for any racist remark or microaggressions. None of that was addressed, but it was very interesting. It was addressed that you said the N-word to another Black person.
Yeah, exactly. So what happened was, me and Drew, we were just hanging out. We were just having a conversation, and
it was early in our relationship, Merron.
It was
early in our relationship. Yeah. And I think Merron was trying to see what type of N-word I was. He was trying to see. You didn't say it, but you said it to be like, all right, what type of brother It just
Right.
wasn't for me.
Yeah, no. The thing is, the only thing I remember was I remember saying it, and the Big Brother voice came on and said, first it said stop that, and
He
then I
said
said
it. You said
again,
it. You said it twice.
twice.
Yes.
And then Big Brother voice came on again and said, what's the
Remember,
phrase? Canada's watching. Remember, Canada is watching. And I got so annoyed, and I was like, so everybody can curse and say this, that, but I can't say nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I was so frustrated. And funny thing was, so my sister, my older sister was watching this on the live stream, and she recorded it on Snapchat, and she saved the video. And when I came home, she showed me the conversation. And what happened was, as soon as the Big Brother voice came on for the second time and said, beware, Canada is watching, when I started ranting and complaining about, wow, why can't I say this, that, they cut the feeds on us. And then they just moved the camera somewhere else. And on top of, they tend to do that a lot. There was actually another moment, sorry, not to go off on a tangent, but I was by myself in one of the rooms, and I was sitting and I was thinking about like showmances. I'm like, oh man, all these showmances are whack. And I was talking about why there weren't any black women on the season. I was like, man, why are there any black women on this season? Man, that would have been nice. And then they cut me on that too. They cut, as soon as I started talking about that, they cut the feeds. Yeah, and then they went to another conversation. So
dog, you know how many times they cut the feeds on the Mandem, bro? Or they don't even show the black people having conversation. Like they're only focusing on like the stupid showmans or whatever the High School Musical girls are saying in the bathroom. They'll go out of their way to not show what the people of color are talking about or where they're at. And even this year, how many times I had to go say, "Where's Jamar and Minlie at? Where are they at? Where are they in the feeds? Let me see what's going with
Drew specifically talks a lot about the microaggressions in the house, and I feel like you were, from what I saw, like targeted in a way as far as people just feeling like you were aggressive. You know, obviously you're a black man, dark skin, tall. Do you feel like they were kind of picking on you a little bit and labeling you as aggressive because of the way you look physically?
I will say this: my energy sometimes is a bit extra. As maybe it's just that I'm just Jamaican.
Yeah.
Or I'm just like a real, like that's just who I am. This is just who I am. I come from my era. Listen, I grew up where it's like the squeaky wheel gets the grease. So
right.
I tend to squeak loudly than I need to be so people understand the magnitude of the words that I'm saying. Yeah. Now, I could probably lower my tone. I could probably take on a more humble or modest approach, but I wasn't raised that way, guys.
And that doesn't make you. Like
that doesn't make me me. So I came into the show almost a little too good to be true. I was the charity guy. I was the community guy. It's almost hard to believe that this black man would be doing all this positive things in the community, and because that they didn't trust me one god bit. I should have told them I sold bricks. Maybe if I sold bricks, they'd be like, "Oh, okay, yeah, we know what type of man this person is." I'm being dramatic, guys.
Of course.
But realistically is that the fact that I was a person of the community, that I was willing to help people, that I was really trying to make my decisions based on like my authentic self.
Yeah.
Didn't do me any. Didn't
and the fact that you're outspoken. Anybody that goes into that game, you can't be outspoken. As soon as you say something, you just label it as a target. But the real reason that Drew left anyways is because we could, our trusted ally put both of us on the block.
Yeah,
that's really what happened. And it was complete bull.
And even with the Ryan situation, if you really look at that as well, Ryan, I saved the first week. Ryan and I are also in the similar same age demographic. We're both old guys, not even that old. We have beards. We're kind of in the same generation. Ryan had no reason to put me on the block, but why did he feel so comfortable that he could sacrifice my game and his only ally? Because he didn't want to go against what the majority thought. He was scared to stick his neck out for an ally, even someone that he even loved.
Yeah.
If Ryan would have said, "Hey, I like Andrew. He's my ally. He's my friend. I want to protect him. Can you guys help me?" Maybe they would have helped him.
It would have changed the demographic of the whole game. That's actually a great example of how people just are willing, like you said, they're willing to sacrifice themselves just to be part of the status quo. And that's the reality. And that's how it is in real life too. A lot of people will not talk about stuff that matters, or like a lot of people will shy away from these important topics because they are afraid, because they're like, you know what? No, my friend doesn't want to talk about it. Or like, I want to get in with that crowd, even though they know you will never get in with that crowd. And that crowd is just, they're just using you. They were just using you. And he realized after.
It doesn't matter. All I'm saying is, for minorities, it's extremely difficult to find allies within the game. And as much as it is like, you know, we need to stick together, we also are going to need people that don't look like us to help us, just like in real life. So it's if you're going to be, and anyone that's coming to play reality TV, hey, you'll score more points by being allies with the cool Black House guests than you will getting rid of them.
What do you guys think that Big Brother Canada specifically could do better to support minorities, people of color, Black folks? What could
cast more of us? Cast more of us. And the thing is, it's the same casting company that Robin Cass, I don't know if you're aware of who that is. She's the one that does all the casting for the US Big Brother, and she does BB Can as well. So it's the same person that's responsible for both shows. And we need more of us. And like, I'm not even asking for too much. Can we just get 4? Like 4, and I'll be happy. Just give us 4 and I'll be happy.
I think they should flip it on its head. I think we should have 10 Black House guests. We should have 4 White House guests. We should have 4, just to switch the numbers up and give it a kind of a flip, so they can understand what it's really like to be a minority in that house and having to fight an uphill battle to gain allies and to kind of, a lot of these legends in the game have an unfair narrative because they coasted simply based on their privilege. So I think that would change a lot of things within the game of Big Brother.
Just because there's one, the one Black guy on TV doesn't mean there can't be 2. Just because there's a Black woman doesn't mean there can't be 2. Just because there's one Muslim in this production doesn't mean there can't be 2. Like, it just change definitely needs to happen. People got to wake up, realize, it's 2020. Cut this shit already. We're all equal. Just come on now. Come on.
Can we find Minority Report? Where can folks find it?
Minority Report. Hit us up. You can go on YouTube, search Minority Report. It will pop up.
Twitter is Minority RPT CAD, like Minority Report for short, and then Canada for CAD.
And if you want to email us, minorityreportcanada@gmail.com. We'll receive the emails there. And we're live every Thursday, 9:30 p.m. Catch us there. Me, Drew, Merron. Thank you so much for having us. People, speak up. Don't shy away. Speak up. Whatever you need to do, don't shy away. And then, come on our show. Come on our show. We'd love to talk to you.
You have our support. Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. Y'all are awesome. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Why am I code switching my dance? Like, I can't really break it down. Asha, what's going on? How are you, lovely?
I'm doing good. As you can see, this is a new place, so I did move, but I'm doing well. Thank you for having me on such, again, another important show. I love the Minority Report. I love everything that they stand for. I love everything involved, and they really touch upon and tackle really great issues for the culture. So, I'm always here for it. And I watched their interview back, and, a lot of it I felt like I knew already because I do watch Canada, and you can see the racism just pouring out. It just jumps out. But when they were talking, I think Andrew may have been the one who was talking about how, like, when you're in that house as a Black person, sometimes white people don't even talk to you. They just pretend like you're a houseplant. Well, no, a houseplant is treated better. But
at least they water it once a week.
At least they water it, give it some attention. And it made me so sad. And I remember seeing that clip. He was talking about how, like, the camera panned slowly to him just to showcase that, like, he was by himself and, like, all the white people at the other end of the corner. And everyone was saying, we were happy when we left. We got out of there. And I'm like, we were happy when you left too, because you deserve better.
Can I just say this? I love the Minority Report and I love the guys. And I'm going to ask you the same question I'll ask them. Why do y'all watch this show? Why are we giving them ratings? They're trash. Like, you already know, if it's not enough Black people, I support diversity. So if I'm watching a show or a movie and it's not enough Black people, if it's not equal, then I don't watch it. That's why I just stick with Love and Hip Hop, because
I'll give you an answer.
Okay.
So, my mom is a huge Big Brother fan.
Really?
I've been watching it since like 2000. So I started watching it when I was a baby with her.
Oh, wow.
I had like a love for the show. When I got older, I didn't appreciate not having a lot of diversity in it. But let me tell you, when I do see 2, 3 Black people in Big Brother, it's clank clang. I'm gonna support them. I'm gonna ride for them. I'm gonna watch.
Yeah.
I want them to do well. And I feel like a lot of Black people right now, like we're just looking for a tiny bit of hope anywhere that we can get it. And I just really hope that one day we can have a Black Big Brother winner, aside from celebrity, that is Black.
It's just so disappointing, I guess, for me, because there's no excuse for it at this point. It's like there's just no excuse for it. I know that I love watching Married at First Sight. It's newer than Big Brother, and I feel like every season it's such a revelation. They have 2 Black couples and 2 white couples. Do you know what I mean? It's like, why can't networks get it together?
I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to put the people on blast. Who people need to go after? Alison Grodner and Robin Cass.
Alison Grodner, I reached out to her. I didn't get a response.
Of course you didn't get a response.
I also reached out to Robin Cass, and I did not get a response.
People block you. Trust me, I tried. I'm blocked. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm asking and preaching and saying and asking and hoping for diversity, but they're never going to give it to us.
Right.
What do you think that we should do? Do you think that we should just completely cut ties with that show as just, as a community or what?
Yeah.
What can we do?
I think that Black Lives Matter needs to stage a protest at the Big Brother house. And when the season starts, it needs to be a protest in front of the house saying Black Lives Matter. And the show cannot start until they address this. Not even, forget address, because CBS, they put out so many statements or whatever. Forget y'all statements until action, or everyone just walk out the house until they're never gonna do that though, because it's coming from up. So the casting Inc., they're getting their recommendations from up top, but it's unfortunate when they are just puppets, and well, at least we know they're not allies, so we don't have to worry about inviting them to the
they
cookout.
weren't ever gonna be at the cookout. Whatever it is.
Exactly. At least we don't have to worry about any raisins in the potato salad. So what do you think about, I thought it was really cool how the guys were talking about the Black code, or the minority code, where on the show, it's kind of like a unspoken word that people of color will look out for each other. And obviously, even though that's a great strategy, it still seems a little bit impossible when there aren't that many to begin with, and you only need like one to teeter off for it to destroy the whole philosophy.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, these are the hands that you're dealt in this game. There's no people who look like you, who share your experience, and so it is like the real world in the sense where people who are Black go to the people who are Black, the only other 1%, and the people who are white. Normally, they only associate themselves with people that look like them, that and whatnot. And so I always love when I see like the 2 Black people or the 2 brown people come together and they're like, got your back, you got my back. Yeah. And you know that they're not going to win because they have so many obstacles against them, but you're just like a little truck, that cool little engine. You're just like, choo, 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 choo. Keep going, keep going, keep going. I'm rooting for you.
You're still rooting for them.
But, I mean, they come out with more fans. Normally, more people like them, more people personalities and their pizzazz and their openness, and so I think that is important. So I don't know, maybe I'm not against canceling it then, because I feel like representation is important still.
Yeah, right. I agree.
So it's I don't know, it's a difficult thing to grapple.
No, I agree wholeheartedly. What did you think about the Jamar Lee situation? He was kicked off the show for allegedly being aggressive. They said that he was he was threatening them with guns. What did you think about all that?
I mean, obviously, let's call it what it was. It was racism. It was straight up racism. The fact of the matter is, you literally had white people on all seasons saying the N-word, saying racial things, being very aggressive, and they were never kicked off. But here comes Lamar. He's just fun, energetic guy, just going like this, and then people were all of a sudden scared.
Right.
Yeah, were you scared when someone, tackled someone in the refrigerator? No, you weren't?
Did that happen?
No, but like it's confrontations in
right.
the kitchen pantry area that I've gotten super confrontational.
Wow. That's really like unfortunate, but I love the fact that even though that was it's just unfortunate that these awful and traumatizing situations have to happen for something beautiful to come out of it, because I feel like that situation, well, the guys even told me that is what sparked the minority court to even come together. And the fact that there's an entire show dedicated to the experiences of Black people and minorities in reality TV, it needs to be fixed. Like they need to do something about it.
But you also have to realize that I think it should be fixed as well, but they're more concerned with rating. So BB15, right. The US version, huge racial thing happened where this white woman, her name is Erin Greaves or Grimes, she's a YouTube star now, so right. Is not real.
Right.
She flipped this black girl's badge. She called her Shaniqua. She was doing hand symbols. She told an Asian cast member to go eat rice. She told her to shut up and be a queer person. It was just really weird. This girl was very problematic. And while they only addressed it just for a white audience. It wasn't like a real,
right, of course,
shaming that she should have gotten, and she should have learned.
She should have been kicked off, fired, like. Of course, she wasn't. It's unfortunate. What do you think about what Merron said when he was talking about the whole N-word situation? Basically, Big Brother, he said that he felt like Big Brother in general censored him when he was saying the N-word to another Black person. It was a problem. The voice came on. But, we hear all the time about how folks say these white people say it. White people throw slurs. I remember the one woman, I think her name was Amanda Zuckerberg. Trash. She's saying awful things about Puerto Ricans. She called her, talking about her castmate using her headband, saying that her nappy hair,
talking about all of this.
Yeah. But Merron was called out, and another good point the guys brought up was that they said when you watch the live feed, when the two Black people would be having, regular joyous conversations, they would cut the camera.
Yeah, and go to
or when they talked about the lack of diversity, they will cut the camera. So what do you think about the censorship in the house that's just for Black people?
It's very Big Brother, right? That's the name of it, censorship. That's it right there. You already know how I feel about the N-word. You cannot police what Black people want to do with that word. It is our word. We reclaimed it. No, you don't get to say it. No, you don't get to sing along to it. And no, you cannot tell me when I can and cannot say it.
Period.
I don't at all. And I feel like Big Brother, especially Big Brother Canada, they have let contestants say it who are not Black.
Right.
Never this big of a deal. So my heart goes out to a particular cast member because that was a very sucky situation to be in.
Right. No, that was perfect. That was a perfect answer. My very last question for you is, what is that? Is that a bat in the corner? Is that what that is?
A bag?
A bat?
A bat?
Bat.
Oh, I honestly don't know what this is. It was scary.
I'm like, does she have a bat in her corner for protection? If she does, it's very far away.
I mean, I have a lot of things here for protection, don't you worry.
Thank you so much, Ashiana. And I love how you came on here rocking those braids, girl. Giving us Black girl magic.
Because it would have been so curly and cute, but it's okay.
It's okay. Did you do them yourself?
I did the back part. I did not do the front part.
Fabulous. You look amazing for you. Thank you so much for talking to me. You're awesome. See you at the office.
Bye.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you guys so much for tuning into another episode of Love Really and for having this important conversation with us. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And when you guys comment, tell us how you really feel. Tell us what you guys think about the lack of diversity in the Big Brother house, in reality TV in general. Talk to us, be candid, and be open. Thank you guys again so much for tuning in. I'm Keydra, the entertainment editor here at the Tylt, and I'll see you guys next time.